As night falls across Britain and we start to think about bed,
there's a whole secret world that's just waking up.
Tonight we'll see it like never before, right through the night. Amazing creatures in our back gardens, on our city streets, in our zoos, in woods and fields. Usually they're hidden by darkness, but not now.
We're going to be following them throughout the night in a completely new way.
Using special low-light camera technology, we can now reveal the animal stories our eyes can't see.
Over 3 programmes, we're hoping to catch a glimpse of some of Britain's best-loved wildlife.
We'll be up all night at a host of locations around the whole country, sharing their extraordinary lives as they unfold.
We're going to lift the lid on the secret lives of British animals at night. Welcome to Nocturnal Britain.
Tonight, I'm back at the Wildlife Hospital, where an extremely sick hedgehog gets rushed in with life-threatening injuries.
Oh, he is not looking well.
Not looking very well at all at the moment.
Lindsey gets up close and personal with the wildlife living right on our back doorstep. And in Scotland, Miranda is on the lookout for Polly the pine marten, but finds that someone else might be looking for her too.
They've got to watch out for foxes. They are a predator of pine martens.
But first, in the Highlands of Scotland, Miranda is on a mission to find a missing orphan, a pine marten called Polly. Pine martens are usually less than 2 feet in length. They hunt in the night, using their great night vision and super sense of smell. But Polly is missing.
I'm at Agas Nature Reserve, just a few miles from Loch Ness. This is where Ranger Ben released Polly 6 months ago. And now he's worried about her.
Polly came to us as an orphan. She came from a rescue centre. So this is what she looked like just before she came to us.
Bless.
Yeah.
How cute is that?
Her mother was in the process of moving her from one den to another, and unfortunately dropped her along the way and couldn't retrieve her. Because she's grown up as an orphan, she hasn't had her mother there to show her the ropes, really.
Normally, a pine marten learns survival skills from its mum, but she wasn't around for Polly. Ben last saw Polly almost a week ago. When we go through the last footage he has of her, I can see why Ben's worried.
Not strong enough to move that rock.
No. It looks like she hasn't realised her full potential yet.
Yeah. Is she still quite petite?
Yeah, she's still learning.
Ben's been putting honey out for Polly and she goes straight to it. But she needs to be able to find food of her own, and that means navigating the treetops with pine marten agility.
Let's have a look at how she copes with the branches.
Pretty well on that one. It's quite a wide one though.
She just needs to hone those skills a little bit, doesn't she?
Yeah, definitely. She may be a bit of a, slower learner because she hasn't had that parental teaching.
An egg would keep Polly fed for a whole day. But she doesn't seem to think it's food. She appears to think it's an obstacle to move out of the way.
She's dropping peanuts, so she's being a bit wasteful.
Yeah.
Which is not going to be good when times are hard. She's going to need to learn not to do that in the future, isn't she?
Yeah. I mean, everything she's dropping there, it's up for grabs.
There's another peanut gone. Come on, Polly. A bit of a fumble there.
Yeah.
Bless her.
You can see when she jumped down then, she probably wasn't using her tail to its full extent, and that could have helped her.
A bit more practice required then, yeah?
Yeah.
Could do better.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Polly making it on her own in the wild. But Ben has a plan to get her the help she needs. First, he needs to find her, so he's putting out more food in the hope of getting her to show up tonight. For now, it's a waiting game.
Tonight, I'm back at the Vale Wildlife Hospital in Gloucestershire, where nearly 400 hedgehogs are being nursed back to health. And I've just heard that an emergency case has come in. A hedgehog had to be pulled from the jaws of a dog, and his vital signs don't look good. Nurse Lydia rushes him straight to intensive care.
I'm not 100% sure what is wrong with him at this stage. I'm just having a look in his mouth, just to see if there's anything sort of stuck in there.
He's got difficulty breathing.
He has got quite a snotty nose.
It could be a sign of fluid leaking from his lungs.
The chest actually looks okay. It looks fairly clear. You can see the diaphragm there, so it's not, there doesn't seem to have been a rupture of sorts, but there's a lot of gas in the abdomen here, which may be why he's struggling, because he's sort of breathing from the abdomen rather than the chest.
Now Lydia has identified the problem, Jeff is called in to treat him.
Oh, he is not looking well.
Not looking very well at all at the moment, so we're going to just check how well he is doing. We're going to check for dehydration. I just gently tent the skin, doesn't hurt him at all, and then when I release, it should spring back easily within 2 seconds.
But it's taking quite a long time,
It's actually staying a little tented in the spot. Potentially, I guess there could have been something wrong with him in the first place, which is why the dog has picked him up so easily.
Dehydration means Jeff needs to get fluids into this little hedgehog as quickly as possible.
If you can just pop your hand over his head there, just to save him moving forward. Straight in line with him.
This looks stressful, but it could be saving his life.
Definitely, yeah. There's only 3 things that we really say save wildlife when they come in this state, and it's fluids, warmth and quiet.
So this is not a happy hog. He is thin, dehydrated, possibly a little battered and bruised as well. So we're going to keep a watch on him all the way through the night and just hope that he makes it.
For now, we've done everything we can. It's going to be a tense night, waiting to see if this little hedgehog pulls through. All across Britain, while we're asleep, there's a whole secret animal world living their lives. And our special cameras now allow us to see them like never before. Miranda has been given special permission to spend the night at the zoo.
I'm here at Bristol Zoo with a great opportunity to find out what happens after opening hours when all the lights are turned out. There's one animal I really wanted to see while they sleep, because they snooze in a very strange way. This is the rather noisy flamingo enclosure. They should be asleep at this time of night. Don't quite know what's going on down there. Like us, they sleep at night and are active during the day, but unlike us, they sleep in a rather unusual way. They sleep standing on one leg because they're actually better balanced and steadier on one leg than they are on 2. So they lock their knee joint into place, stopping it flexing, and they can stay like this for hours on end. When the crowds go home, it's time for the nocturnal animals to wake. But there are odd occasions when the creatures which should be sleeping stay up and use the night to their advantage, as some truly unique footage from a zoo in Yorkshire reveals. Normally, tigers use the dark to stalk their prey. But there's one occasion when even a top predator needs the protection of the night. This is Shuna, and she's about to give birth for the first time. She's an Amur tiger, and there are only 500 of these tigers left in the wild, so every cub is precious. After a 5-month pregnancy, finally her cub is out in the world. And instinct takes over. Licking stimulates the cub to take its first solo breath. Then, a second cub. And a third. It's the first time the zoo has caught a tiger birth on camera like this. Like all babies, the cubs want to feed straight away. It's a great sign.
You don't need to spend a night at the zoo for a special glimpse into nocturnal wildlife. There are incredible animal dramas taking place in our own back gardens.
4 out of 5 people in Britain live in urban environments, but between the paved driveways there are gardens of all different sizes that play host to wild encounters and dramatic events, all under the cover of darkness. Worthing on the south coast. Not just a place for fish and chips in the daytime, it's fox heaven at night. And just a few streets away from the beach, each night Dora, the founder of Fox Guardians, waits up for a friend to call by. A small fox she's called Faith.
She comes just after sunset throughout the night, and her last visit is usually just before sunrise, about 4 in the morning.
Faith is 3 years old and has been visiting since she was a cub.
Often she just sits next to me and just looks and ponders and stays there for 10 minutes, and we just sit next to each other. And I absolutely love it. I find it pure magic.
Even the most urban of foxes are still wild animals. And tonight, Faith hasn't turned up.
They're definitely weather sensitive. They really don't like the wind because it messes with their hearing. They also don't like the rain.
When Faith doesn't appear, Dora starts to worry.
The lives of urban foxes are dangerous and short. So many foxes get run over by cars. Their environment is shrinking more and more. So many sites here in my hometown that had a lot of wildlife, they're all being built on. So it's really hard for the foxes because the areas where they can be are shrinking more and more and more. And not everybody welcomes foxes in their gardens, so it's not easy.
When the rain eases, Faith finally enters the garden.
Hello. I'm always relieved to see her when she appears in the evening in one piece, and she's well, and she's relaxed in the garden, and she's thriving, and she looks healthy.
Hi, Faithy. Hello, puppet. You're soaking wet.
On a wet patio in Worthing, Dora's dedication is rewarded. And proof that even in urban areas, if you stay up to watch wildlife, it's closer than you think.
Hi, Christine.
I'm in another back garden, this time in Stockport, to meet Christine, who's dedicated 13 years getting to know the nocturnal animals that visit her house.
Christine, tell me a little bit about your characters then. Who are your main players?
Well, this is Mr. Lumpy. As you can see, he's got a funny left ear and he's got a lump on his forehead.
Very distinctive. And who's this?
This is little baby face. As you can see,
Gorgeous face.
she's got a little baby face. And this one is Humbug.
Why have you called it Humbug?
Black, white and sweet.
That's lovely. Any more?
Yeah. This one is Mrs. Lumpy Nose.
OK, and I'm guessing that's because there's quite a distinctive lump just
on
there.
her nose, yeah.
As well as the badgers, a fox also visits Christine's garden, and she needs food more than ever. She's got cubs. Yeah, because of the quite distinctive teats there.
Yeah.
So she's obviously feeding them at the moment. But trouble is brewing in this back garden paradise. The badgers don't like to share, and this is bad news for our little vixen. She needs food for her cubs. Christine hasn't seen the female fox for a few nights, so we're staying up hoping to see her tonight. But it's not long before we get another visitor. Who's that?
That's Humbug.
That's amazing. How long have you been watching Humbug?
Since January.
So quite a new badger for you. Humbug turned up on the decking a few weeks ago, badly beaten up, most likely by another badger. Now she sneaks in early to eat alone.
I think she's gone.
It's only when we put more food out that the next diner turns up. Oh, I can see why you're called Babyface. Oh, she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
Hello. Babyface has timed her arrival to avoid the other badgers.
None of them will share. If they all come together, if 3 of them come together, they will just lie on the food so that no one can eat it.
She's right by the window. This is amazing to see so close.
Who needs TV when you've got this?
I mean, I've seen badgers before, but I have never been this close. Is this as close as you've got?
No, I can open the door for you.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Scottish Highlands, Polly, the orphaned pine marten, is struggling in the wild, without a mother to teach her the skills she needs. Now, Ranger Ben and I are trying to get her the help she needs. But first, we have to find her, and Ben is worried about where she might be.
We've got an old log here. There's loads and loads of peanuts in there. And then there's another log here, and there's more peanuts here. Again, more peanuts. And these 3 sort of horizontal branches here are smeared with honey, which is something they would find in the wild. They raid bees' nests and things like that. That's it. Are we all set, Ben?
Yep, all good here.
Okay, so all we have to do is retreat into the warmth and the safety of the hide and watch.
We wait. And wait. And wait. It's been 4 hours, and still no Polly. Then we see something that gives us both chills. A fox, one of the main predators of pine martens. If Polly doesn't know how to stay out of its way, she's in real danger.
They've got to watch out for foxes. They are a predator of pine martens. So a pine marten, ideally, for its own safety, would spend more time in the trees finding food.
The fox keeps sniffing. There's a scent here. I just hope it's not Polly. Her best chance is to stay up in the trees where pine martens have the advantage. But does she know that?
We've got an amazing opportunity to see Britain's nighttime wildlife as never before, using new camera technology to peel back the darkness.
And I'm up in Stockport, getting face to face with some badgers. I've always thought of badgers as shy creatures you're lucky to catch a glimpse of. But tonight's proving me completely wrong.
believe how noisy you are. You're very noisy. This is just a magical, magical experience.
It's a privilege.
With some of the UK's most iconic wildlife that's just never seen because it's out at night. I mean, it's like she could come in and sit on your sofa. She's never done that, right?
No.
No.
She's off. Over in the bushes, there's movement. Another badger on their way to the food.
Who have we got here? Look at that nose.
There's Lumpy.
Oh, look at him. You can tell, actually, that he's a boar as well, can't you?
Yeah. He's the biggest of the badgers. When he first came to the door, he was covered in battle scars. He's in a sorry state, really. He came 4 years ago, and 3 years ago he came with his mate with 2 cubs. And then Mum disappeared a year later, so we presumed she died.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I'm starting to feel a little sorry for the badgers. Avoiding each other seems to be the only answer.
He has eaten around every bit of food available out there and left that perfect egg sitting in the middle. Oh, there you go, there you go.
Anything larger than a grape, they run off with. It's just, they take it, it's mine.
Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant.
He leaves. There's no way he's going to share that. Now, Humbug's back.
If the badgers smell the eggs and I hide it in the dog food, they run off with the eggs.
Did you get that?
Did you run off with the egg?
But the badgers are getting all the food. With them around, there's no sign of the vixen tonight. And with cubs to feed, it's vital she gets the food on offer before the badgers have it all.
We've been waiting for quite a while and we still haven't seen the fox.
No.
What's your gut feeling?
I don't think she'll come while we're here tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
With the badgers gone, now should be the fox's chance. And I don't want it to be me that scares her off. So it's curtains for our close encounters while we wait hidden inside.
While Lindsey keeps watch on the cameras and hopes the fox appears later in the night, Miranda's on her way to see how the zookeepers are trying to help with the love life of some very slow movers.
And I'm going to be meeting some more of the nocturnal animals who come from right around the world, but who call this place their home. These are lemurs from Madagascar.
Oh my God, there's the 2 babies. Look at her, the 2 babies. So their mum in here has recently given birth to twins. And there she is with the 2 babies attached.
Most animals in the zoo are meant to be asleep, even if their little ones are keeping them awake tonight. But for the truly nocturnal creatures, nightfall is when their day begins. These are sloths, officially the slowest mammals in the world.
Now, in this enclosure here, we have a male called Rio who's just hanging over the dinner table at the moment, scoffing. And somewhere in the corner in the nest box is a young female called Trixie.
These 2 sloths have only just been put together. The zoo is hoping they will mate tonight, but it's all happening rather slowly.
My job this evening is to keep watch and see if there's any romance in the air.
This is the opposite of speed dating. But it's vital to the conservation effort here at the zoo, as keeper Alan Toyne explains.
Why is it important that they breed? Why do you want them to mate here?
The captive gene pool as a whole is obviously a finite resource. Trixie hasn't had any offspring yet, so her genetic line is important for the captive population all across Europe. So it's important to get some out of her to make sure that genetic line continues.
Our sloths very slowly start getting a little closer to each other. But it would appear that Trixie doesn't want to rush into a relationship. She's got her arm and her claw sort of just leisurely hanging from a little pole. I reckon she's just saving herself for later. Finally, Rio makes an advance. Some heavy petting proves promising. But they seem hesitant to take it a step further.
Is the problem with Trixie or was it Rio?
I think in a way Trixie's still quite young, so you know, she might not quite know what to do, or
maybe she needs an older man to show her how it's done.
Well, you know, Rio is significantly older than her, so let's hope that's the way it goes.
And is it just a waiting game? Is there anything you can do to engineer this or not?
Not really.
So dinner for two, champagne, red roses, is not going to work?
We could give it a go. I'm sure they'd like eating the roses, if nothing else. Maybe it's him, I don't know.
Oh, typical.
It would appear Rio has lost his chance because Trixie is heading off to bed.
So I was prepared this evening for not a lot to happen, but even taking that into consideration, it has definitely been a slow night. Rio barely had time to finish his dinner before the sun came up, so clearly he just run out of time to make an advance on Trixie. So maybe another evening he'll get his priorities sorted out and see to her first before having his dinner.
One of the most amazing things about the nocturnal animals we're meeting is how they use totally different senses from us to experience the world. For some, it's smell. But I'm about to meet a night hunter with super-powered hearing. I'm in Somerset to meet an animal who uses her superb eyes and hearing to hunt. This is Lily. She's a barn owl. Rose has brought up Lily since the moment she hatched.
What are you doing?
Rose knows one day Lily will follow her wild instincts, leave the safety of her care, and disappear off into the night. So Lily needs to learn to hunt. Tonight, I'm going to see how she's getting on.
Hi, Rose. How you doing? Good to see you. How's things?
Yeah, fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, really good. So this is lovely Lily.
I know, she's gorgeous, isn't she?
So how is it being mum to a barn owl?
It's lovely. It's very time consuming because, well, first of all, actually, she was under a heat lamp because she was sort of naked, really, with just a little tiny bit of fluff. And then after a while, she came off that and she grew her second lot of down so that she didn't need the heat lamp. And she had to be fed every 4 hours, tiny little bits of food with a pair of tweezers. And she used to stay indoors until she fledged, really. And then it was a bit manic because then she'd be hanging off the pictures and grabbing the thing off the piano and flying around the room. And that's when she came to live permanently outside in her aviary.
What would happen now if we were to bring Lily out? Should we give it a go?
Well, shall we?
Yeah. She is keen.
Oh, hello.
Lovely Lily. Oh, straight onto the camera person.
Good girl. Good girl.
Absolutely magic. So, Rose, when Lily hops back, I love that she is just free to go wherever she wants to go.
I do as
She
well.
can just hop around, do whatever she wants to do,
Lily.
and she has disappeared off into the night. It's not surprising she's so active. I mean, this is hunting time, and there's something that's telling her it's time to go out and find food.
Owls are ultimate night hunters, and I want to see what Lily can do with no light at all, just her hearing to guide her.
Rose has trained her over time to react to the sound coming out of this speaker exactly the same as if it were the noises made by the vole she would normally hunt. So if I bury this in this tussock of grass where she can't see it, then we'll get a chance to see a barn owl hunting purely using sound. Okay, time to turn out the lights.
Only our infrared camera can capture what's going on.
Okay, Rose, let's give it a go. Ah, I think that was her. Lights on. Yes, look at that. Even in total darkness, she still found it. It's in there, Lily, I want to see. There she goes. Lily.
Way, hello, sweetie.
I think Lily knows everything she needs to survive in the wild.
Hunting in total silence and in total darkness. Barn owls really are the queen of the night.
Back in the Highlands of Scotland, the fox that was prowling around the feeding station thankfully has moved on. Now Miranda just has to hope Pine Marten Polly will show up.
Ranger Ben and I haven't seen any sign of Polly yet tonight. As an orphan, she missed out on many life lessons from her mother. But Ben has a plan to help her catch up, and it means getting Polly together with other pine martens.
2 years ago, Ben saw a group of 4 pine martens, probably a mother and her 3 kids, all feeding together in this area. But that was 2 years ago. It'll be interesting tonight to see if any of those 4 are still here, still operating in this area.
If the other pine martens are still here, watching and copying what they do is Polly's best chance to catch up. But after hours and hours of sitting in this hide, I'm not sure if we're going to see Polly or any other pine marten. We spot something.
Oh yeah! Oh, go, 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 go! Oh my God! Okay, finally. The moment has arrived and we've got pine martens. Oh, I'm so pleased.
It's not Polly. This is a male, and he seems to know what he's doing, running along narrow branches with confidence.
It's gone straight up. Ah, it's getting the egg. It's getting the egg. Oh, brilliant.
And now he shows off another clever tactic. He takes the egg away to eat at his leisure and doesn't need to worry about another animal stealing it from him.
If he goes off and eats that, do you think he'll then come back again and hoover up a little bit more?
Oh yeah, I think you'll, be coming back in.
He's showing just the kind of survival skills Polly needs to learn. With his egg safely hidden, he's back for more.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, brilliant.
But then something distracts our pine marten.
He's seen something.
He's looking at the distance.
Polly doesn't only need to learn how to find food, she also needs to learn how to avoid danger. And this male is on the alert.
Oh, it's a badger. A badger.
Oh no. So clearly both of them want to feed, but the badger gets first dibs.
Yeah, definitely.
This pine marten is showing great survival skills.
We'll find out a bit later if that pine marten comes back to finish its dinner.
If Polly shows up at the hide tonight, this male could provide a great opportunity for her to learn. We'll find out later if the plan comes off.
It's the middle of the night, and we're travelling all across Britain to lift the lid on what animals get up to while we're asleep. Earlier, at Vale Wildlife Hospital in Gloucestershire, a hedgehog was brought in, having been mauled by a dog. He wasn't looking very well. I helped administer fluids in the hope it would help this hedgehog in its fight for life. Our best efforts weren't enough. I just heard that the little hedgehog died. But the next patient already needs our help. A baby squirrel is brought in after the tree she was born in was cut down. there's no sign of her parents. She needs intensive feeding throughout the night, and Jeff has to be a squirrel's surrogate mum.
She's a little bit down on her weight from this time yesterday, Steve, so we'll just give her a bit of milk just to top her up and make sure that she's up to weight for this time, for first thing in the morning.
Oh, look at that. She's loving that. That is hands down the cutest grey squirrel I've ever seen in my life.
These are some of the easiest patients to feed, I must say.
I guess one of the big challenges is making sure that they don't get too used to people.
Yeah, for us, imprinted animals are an absolute disaster. We have to make sure all the animals that we send back to the wild are fit to be in the wild, so they can take care of themselves. They stand a chance of survival equal to that of a non-rehabbed animal. And unfortunately, tamed animals really can't be considered as that. So with these guys, I know she looks very cute at the moment, but our ideal moment is when she starts biting people.
Great.
Which looks like it may happen any minute.
Raising an orphaned animal is a delicate balance between giving it the care it needs and keeping it a wild animal. In Scotland, Miranda's hoping that the release into the wild of Polly the pine marten is finally going to have a happy ending.
Over the course of the night, I've seen footage of orphan Polly, who is very unsure of herself, and seen a mature and capable male pine marten. We've been trying to tempt Polly back to our feeding station. My big hope is that Polly can pick up some survival skills from the male.
Pine marten's back. She's great.
A combination of honey and nuts are proving irresistible.
So this is great now. He's just on that ledge and he's just eating all those peanuts there. I love it when he turns towards us and he's like he's eating chewing gum. It's very messy, eater. Yeah. He's not eating with his mouth closed like I was taught to as a child.
Again, we're seeing how this male operates. And then, Polly herself finally turns up. It's a huge relief for Ben. And she seems to be picking up tips from the male. This time, she's going for the egg.
Oh my God, she's got it. Oh,
just about.
Fabulous. Oh, but that looked quite tricky.
She's just realising how wide she can open her mouth and what she can carry in that mouth.
It's great to see she's learning from other pine martens.
It was a bit of a struggle, but she made it.
Yeah, definitely. She did really well. She's coming out of the other end of a Highland winter, looking really good.
If she makes it through the first winter, then she's got a really good chance of doing well.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully in a couple of years, she might even be bringing in her own kids.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we found Polly. My night is over here in the Highlands. She seems to be in good company, and I wish her well.
In Stockport, I'm hoping the cameras catch a mother fox finally getting a chance to get some food for her cubs, providing the badgers don't steal it all first. The badgers seem to have left the area having eaten their fill, but there's still no sign of our fox.
Are you a little bit worried about her?
She's just very young to have cubs. I know it's natural, but you just think, so tiny. Don't know how many cubs she's got. Don't know how the cubs are doing.
And then, after long hours of waiting, the fox appears and approaches the food. She's wary.
The fox is very flighty. If the fox is aware a badger's coming in the garden, she tends to run.
But your badgers, they are quite sort of hefty.
They are.
If you were a fox, would you steer clear?
I would, definitely.
I can almost tell she looks disappointed by the lack of egg. She seems to be in a hurry as the sun is about to come up. The last bite isn't eaten. Instead, she carefully holds it in her mouth to take back for her cubs. And actually that food will be really important to her just at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been a really busy night, absolutely brilliant for me. The sun's rising. Shall we reclaim your patio?
I think so.
I think we should. Yeah. Come on, let's go outside. And this is the scene of the action, but you wouldn't know. Look, all the nuts have gone, the raisins have gone, everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
What's really interesting to me, though, is that unless we'd sat up all night and watched this, you would have no idea that this action was going on in this particular garden. Incredible.
Our night is now over. As we're waking up, our animals are bedding down for the daylight hours, leaving only hints of what happened during the night. Our cameras reveal just what goes on when we're asleep.